The first question is how Kosovo was split off. So on this day, 13 years ago, Shqiptar criminals declared so-called independence of our southern province, Kosovo and Metохије. Of course, nothing like this could have happened without massive backing by the Western centers of power, meaning USA, NATO, UN, and all the corrupt politicians, all the usual suspects, really. So now I will read to you the official statement of the movement Serbian Action regarding Kosovo and Metохије, and why it is Serbian. Kosovo and Metохијe is immensely important for us Serbs, not only as a part of our fatherland, but also as Serbian holy land, consecrated by thousands of Serbian Christian sanctities, churches, monasteries, all of which are testament to the Serbian covenant with God, and also testament to Serbian rich history and heritage in this area. If Kosovo and Metохијe was really Shqiptar, then surely they would have a great deal of remains of their history in Kosovo and wouldn't have to resort to forgery and steal even our national heroes, like Skanderbeg. Even the name Kosovo is derived from the Serbian word for a black bird, kos. Also, Kosovo is sacred to us because it was a battlefield to the great Kosovo battle of 1389, when the Serbian Emperor Lazar led his army to clash with the multiple times more numerous Turkish conqueror, thus choosing the path of suffering for Christ and gaining the kingdom of heaven instead of earthly privileges, which the Turks offered if Lazar should yield to them and serve as a vassal. This Lazar's act of choosing the kingdom of heaven and suffering for Christ's sake we call Kosovo commitment. Through the centuries to come, it represented the source of valor and moral strength for all Serbian struggles to come. In 1389, Serbia suffered a great blow in Kosovo battle and Lazar lost his head. But we also broke the wings of Ottoman invaders whose further advancement into the soil of Europe was stopped as a consequence of the stalemate battle on Kosovo and some other battles which happened. Same as in far 1389, in 1999 was the year in which the Serbian people again made a stand in defense of Serbia. But it was also a stand for the whole Europe. Again, it was on Kosovo, but this time the enemy was the NATO criminals. Heroically fighting and resisting against the many times more numerous and technically superior enemy, the Serbian people evaded total occupation. In fact, NATO troops came only to Kosovo and Metохијe and not the rest of Serbia, as threatened by the ultimatum before the bombing. And they came not as NATO forces, but as a part of UN forces. But nevertheless, we'll never forgive the villains who gave us 78 days of terror when they mercilessly bombed our country with many civilians as casualties, some of them still small children. After a series of abuses and violations of the international law, 9 years later came the illegal proclamation of the so-called independence of Kosovo. During the whole time of the occupation, meaning from 1999 to this day, great crimes against the Serbs have been happening. Murders, expulsions, robberies, lootings, burnings, desecrating of homes and churches. This is nothing else but a new crucifixion of the Serbian people, as it has happened many times throughout our martyred but nonetheless heroic history. And after all the crucifixions, the Serbian people were resurrected. Again, we do not recognize the full state of Kosovo, and why would we? No serious nation wants to come to terms with the loss of a part of its homeland. We, as Serbian patriots, want to live in a single Serbian state, contrary to the current tendency of dividing the Serbian land into smaller states and entities. As Christians, we know that God requires of the people to take care of the gifts He bestows upon them. Therefore, we Serbs, as historical and God-given nation, have an obligation to take care of our national space, given to us by the grace of God. The fight for Serbian Kosovo is also the fight for Christianity and also the fight for whole Europe, because the NATO and Shqiptar attack on Serbia is a joint mondialist and Islamist attack on our common European civilization. Serbian Orthodox shrines on Kosovo and Metохијe represents the jewel of Christian, Slavic, and Indo-European cultural heritage. And above all, we Serbs must not accept the loss of Kosovo and Metохијe because our holy land is the birthplace of Kosovo Pledge and the Kosovo Commitment, which are the core of the sacred history of our folk. Because of that, we believe in victory and resurrection of the crucified Serbdom. Therefore, we Serbian nationalists do not recognize that false proclamation of independence, and we do not reconcile with the loss of our homeland. We are especially grateful to all nationalists across Europe who support us in this, and the Polish comrades stood out especially in their support, and for that you have our undying gratitude and respect.